of Chasing Mysteries Gardens. My wife Karen and I are on a journey to renovate and revitalize our garden space, both inside and out. So this channel isn't necessarily just all about the gardens on the outside, but it's also what we can do on the inside. Projects that we are going to try maybe for the first time, or things that we do all the time and that we just want to share with you. So one of the things that I recently learned is that you can orange juice, and this is something that I've been really wanting to try. So the grocery store this past week had a sale on oranges, and it was 2 4-pound bags, buy one get one free. So I bought 4 of them. I don't know how much juice this is going to get me. I don't know if this is even going to be worth it, but we are going to try to get as much juice as we can out of these oranges and then put them in quart-sized jars. Now, if we don't have a lot of juice, then we will probably go down to a pint-sized jar, but for right now, we are starting with quarts. So what we're going to do is we are going to juice the oranges. And unfortunately, all I have is a hand juicer, so this may take a while. So what we have here are 4 bags of Sunkist oranges, and there's about 10 to 12 oranges in each bag. This bag right here is, the oranges are substantially larger, and there's maybe only 7 in there, so not all bags are equal. So the steps to canning orange juice is pretty easy. You just get some juice from oranges. You add a little dash of lemon juice. You heat the oranges up to, you don't want to boil it. You just want it to come to a low simmer. And then you just ladle it into your prepared jars. Then you can water bath can them for 10 minutes for 1,000 feet or less, or 15 minutes for over 1,000 feet in altitude. We're going to start by just cutting up some oranges, making sure that they look good on the inside. Smells delicious already. All right, here we go. Let's see what we get here. So I got this idea from another YouTube video of a family that actually grew oranges in their yard, and they would have tons and tons and tons of oranges, and they would just sit as a family and juice. But they had these fancy electronic juicers, so you just push down lightly and it spins and it gets all the juice out for you. So we are doing it the manual labor way. So that's, I don't know if you can see, it's quite a bit from one juice. It's not quite up to the, it's about a 1/4 cup from one juice, so that's pretty, from one orange, so that's pretty good. So recently, the other day, I saw 2 orioles in our yard, which was unusual because we usually don't get those here. And a friend of mine told me that if you put oranges out, oranges and grape jelly, if you put those out, then it will attract the orioles to your yard. So I might put one out. Oh, this is gonna tire my arm out quick. Anyone has any tips for an easier way to do this that doesn't involve an electric juicer? Please leave them in the comments below. So it actually leaves quite a bit of pulp there. I wonder if I can squeeze the pulp anymore. Oh, it's just goo, not really. My practices are not pretty, so you do you to get the job done. Probably should have a towel. So that was 1, 2, 3 oranges, and we are at half a cup. So depending on how I feel after all this, we may or may not do the other steps at a later date. Ooh, this one's really juicy. Oh yeah, that's coming out so easy. So I brought out this bowl. To put the pulp in when the pulp thing gets full. And what I'll do is I'll probably put this in the blender and then see if I can strain it, because I don't know if you can tell, there's quite a bit of juice still in there. So we've gotten not even through one bag, and we have already emptied the sludge twice, and then this is 2 cups of juice. So what you want to do with this juice is put it into a stainless steel pot, something that's non-reactive. And then we will heat this up for our canning. I think I've decided that we're probably going to do pint jars just because I'd rather have more jars just so that not so much is open at any one time. So one thing I did notice while I was doing this is that the oranges will squeeze better and you get less of the pulp in your bowl if you cut them so that they're like a star as opposed to in half like this. So see the difference between that one and this one? You want them to look like this, and the way you do that is on every orange there is a little nub, and so that's where the flower started and that's the stem. So what you want to do is you want to cut in between those two ends. So cut between the ends and you will get your orange to look like this. If you cut end to end this way, end to end this way, it'll look like this. So again, you want to, it's just helpful, you don't have to, but if you cut in between the two ends in half this way, then you will, it's just a little bit easier to juice. So we are done with the oranges. It took us about an hour to squeeze 4 bags. I did not count how many oranges there were. I have 2 halves left over. I'm just gonna put on the bird feeder. So I had to switch to a bigger pot, and we got approximately 11 cups of juice from all those oranges. And then we also got this giant bowl of pulp that probably has at least 1, if not 2 or more cups of juice in that as well. So I will run that through the blender and strain that out. I personally like pulp in my orange juice, so I will probably leave a percentage in. It doesn't really affect anything, so you can just can that with the regular juice. Now, one thing I did realize was that at the beginning I showed you the jars that we were going to use, and I realized that the jar that I showed you was actually a pint jar, not a quart jar. So these right here are actually pint jars. So this will hold 2 cups. So we have approximately 6 of these, which will be nice on our shelf to drink fresh, delicious orange juice. Oh, that is so sweet and delicious. This job was messy, but it was definitely worth it so far. We'll see how I feel after the canning process.
1 hour later.
I think I made a big mistake. So I thought it would be a good idea if I took my immersion blender and blended up the pulp that was left, not thinking about the fact that that pulp contained the pith of the orange, which is bitter. So I ground that up into a lovely paste, and then I dumped it into the orange juice. Now, it's still good, but it lost that tart, tangy orange flavor that was so delicious. So I'm going to let it sit overnight in the refrigerator and hope it separates. I don't know. It's called an immersion blender for a reason. So we'll see what happens.
The next day.
So this was 100% a dud as far as the orange juice that I wanted to can. When I pulled it out of the refrigerator, it actually was like jelly. It was so weird. So I stirred it up. The pectin, the natural pectin in the orange juice coagulated, and it was like soft cheese or just like a jelly. So I mixed it all up, and what I'm going to do is, it's not bad, it's just not what I wanted to can. So I am going to, I put about this much of the orange in, and then I filled the rest with water and ice. And I will drink this over the next day or so as orange juice. And then I filled up 2 of these. They're 2 cups each. So I have 4 cups total, and I'm going to try to make an orange ice cream and also an orange coconut sherbet, but I don't have all the ingredients for that yet. So I will keep you posted on this ongoing orange juice failure turns success. I don't know. We'll see. So thank you for joining me on this journey and getting a little messy in the kitchen as we experiment with canning orange juice. If you like this video, please hit the subscribe button to watch more, and also give this video a big thumbs up. We would very much appreciate that. We'd also appreciate if you would share with your friends these videos, your friends that might be interested in them. So, and as we always say, suki suki.